Ferris. This is Cooking for Bachelors. Today we're going to do 3 soups/stews. We're going to cook chicken soup, beef stew, and chili. My version of New York chili, and I'll explain when we get there. But we're going to first start with chicken soup. This is it. This is the traditional, oh my God, you have a cold, get your mama's Jewish chicken soup recipe. You have it right here in my kitchen. We're going to use breasts and thighs. Yes, folks, breasts and thighs. Those are nice meaty pieces of chicken, and if you can, get kosher chicken, and I'll tell you why. Not just because it's going to cure your Jewish ailments, because it's, look at that, my dill is sticking to it, so we're just going to put it in as well. There's dill there, okay? Because kosher chicken is pre-salted and soaked, and it's really a delicious sweet meat, and the saltiness is going to really add nice flavor to your soup. So the chicken's in, and all the ingredients are going in with it. Carrots, onions, dill, celery, parsley, and parsnip. Parsnip is this white vegetable. It looks like a carrot. It's a very sweet root vegetable, and it's very lovely. So we're going to put that in there. Excuse me, we're going to come over to the sink and fill it with water. And let me show you what you do whenever you're making a soup. You put all your ingredients in, and then you fill it just to cover. Don't fill it anymore. Don't think you're getting any more soup in it. You will not have to use any stock. You'll just use seasoning, salt and pepper, and the herbs that are already in here. Now we're going to add some salt, a pinch, and you can add most of your salt later. You don't have to add a lot of it in the beginning. Add some salt and pepper, and I like a little cayenne pepper in everything. Okay, and that's going to make our soup have that little bite to it, and that's going to also cure your cold. Okay, we're going to cover this. Back to it later. Now we're going to get started on our 2 other soups. This is going to be our chili, and this is going to be our beef stew. Right now they have oil and garlic in the pots, and we're going to turn them both on and start cooking. What we're going to do, because they have beef, we're going to brown the beef and some of the vegetable in these. And they're basically going to work the same way. One is going to be chili, and one is going to be beef stew. And you'll see the differences. We're going to put the meat in. Okay, I borrowed the meat from the other one. And we're going to put the meat in here. And we're going to sear the meat. You can hear it searing. Look at that. We're going to stir it around a little in the oil. And this is a great way to begin many, many soups or stews. Whatever you want to put in it, you put in it. Now for a beef stew, we're going to add potatoes, skin on, string beans, celery, onions, carrots, fresh thyme, and fresh parsley. Toss all the ingredients around so it all gets seared. We're just going to cover that up and let that happen for a few minutes. While we go over here, this is going to be a little different. This is going to be a chili that I call New York chili. Now, chili's made different ways when it comes from different places. Some places they use chunks of beef. Some uses ground beef. Some use beans, and some don't use beans. So we're going to just make our own combination, and that's why I'm calling it New York chili. We're going to use a mirepoix, which is onions, celery, and carrots. And we're going to saute that for a little while until it softens. We're going to cover that and come back here to our beef stew. Now what we're going to add to the beef stew is some crushed tomatoes. We crushed these tomatoes just from the can, Please buy those that don't have calcium chloride in them. This is about a half of a can. And then we're going to add our seasoning. Some crushed red pepper, some salt, and some black pepper. And mix that around. We're going to add a little tomato paste. Just about a half a can. And then we're going to add the rest of the liquid from the peppers, from the tomatoes. Now, just like we did with the chicken soup, we're going to add water to cover. That's not going to really take much. You want to have more solids than liquid in this. This is not a soup, this is a stew. So here's what it looks like. And we're going to cover that and cook it. Now on our other hand, here's our chili. What we're going to add to this is some black bean soup, is what it's called. And black beans come two ways, either the plain black beans or the soup, which comes in almost like a gravy. So ours is going to have black beans. This is our New York chili. We're going to add to it Spanish smoked paprika. It has a very nice smoky flavor. Interesting enough, it has a smoky flavor when you add it to soups and stews. If you grill it on steaks, it does not have that smokiness, but it has a wonderful grill flavor. And you can go see some of our steak recipes where this is used. We're going to add a little cumin, which is a traditional spice for chili, some salt and pepper. We're going to mix it up and let it cook down. We're not going to add liquids to this. There's enough liquid in the vegetables, and that's going to cook down. That's the beginning. You're going to let these cook for probably 15 to 20 minutes. We'll take the chicken out, and the others will turn off and let them sit in their own juices for at least an hour, and it will cook in its own heat and its own juices, and then we can eat it. Okay, so everything's cooked through, and what we need to do is, as I said before, take the skin and the meat off of the chicken. So then we put the meat back into the pot, throw the bones and the skin away. So all you do is just cut the meat off. It's already cooked through. You want to cut it into small pieces that are nice to fit on your spoon. And put all the edible pieces back into the pot. So after about 20 minutes of cooking and about an hour of just standing still, we were able to create 3 soups on the same stove. We have our chicken soup with a beautiful brothy stock. We have our beef stew with the tomato-based stock. And we have our chili with the beans. All of them are different textures, but you can see they were all made similarly. And you can make this any way you want. You've got the steps. Get off the sofa and stop watching me cook. Go, go, you do it now.